Attention, Braves Nation, answer fast. Are you truly ready for the next dynasty? Do you think you know the National League East inside and out? Because what's about to happen could rewrite baseball's fiercest rivalry and test a competitor's loyalty to the limit. Can you feel the urgency? This is what we're talking about. We know what it means to dominate year after year of division title streak, and the chop-on war cry demands only the best for our lineup. But there is a missing piece, the heart of our infield, the starting shortstop position, and the baseball operations brass is working silently to find the long-term solution we deserve. We accept nothing less than the World Series. And now the trade rumors are so absurd we have to pinch ourselves to make sure we're awake. Forget about free agent Bo Bichette, because the Athletics' Ken Rosenthal already hammered home the point. Many teams no longer view him as a starting shortstop, given that his defensive metrics are among the league's worst. That is not what our team needs. But the focus isn't on conventional free agents, nor on the quiet Colorado Rockies where Ezequiel Tovar, who has an affordable 5-year, $54 million contract, could be an option. No, the focus is locked on our biggest rival. The unthinkable has just become a real, explosive possibility. We are talking about an atomic bomb on the trade market. The Atlanta Braves are linked to a potential acquisition of a 25-year-old all-star who plays for the Washington Nationals. Yes, you heard that right. The Nats. Does Washington's new president of baseball operations, Paul Taboni, have the audacity to trade 2024 all-star shortstop C.J. Abrams within the same division? It would be the crime of the century if it happens. Abrams, a 25-year-old talent with 3 years of contract control remaining, who has proven he can hit with power, surpassing the 18 home run mark in each of the last 3 years. Something. Our chop-on offense is desperate to add to the core. He is the stability, he is the hitting power, and he is the youth we need to keep the NL East on fire and ensure victory every time. The question is not whether Atlanta wants Abrams, because he would be great. The question is, will Taboni pay the political price of strengthening our roster and selling his all-star to the sworn enemy? It is a colossal risk, but one that could seal our destiny as champions. A bomb drops in the middle of the NL East. That's right. The Atlanta Braves front office seems to have its radar on to shake up the trade market in a way we love, focusing precisely on a 25-year-old all-star playing for a division rival. The chop-on needs to stay atop the NL East, and that means filling the shortstop vacancy with a big name, someone who delivers the excellence we always expect. We don't settle for little, and the search for an undisputed starter is the highest priority in our perpetual World Series chase. The major. Speculation came from Ken Rosenthal of The Athletic, and the name on the table is none other than C.J. Abrams. The guy wears the Washington Nationals jersey, and the mere mention of a trade within the division should set baseball on fire. Rosenthal raised the possibility, and although he himself questioned whether the Nationals would be crazy enough to let go of a talent like Abrams to a direct rival, the mere fact that this gem is being considered shows Atlanta's ambition. C.J. Abrams, an all-star, in the 2024 season would be a spectacular fit, the kind of bold move that separates champion franchises from merely good ones. He is the present and the future at the position. And why is Abrams the target? Because the kid is the complete package, the player who will carry this position for years. At 25, turning 25 in October 2025, he has already proven to be an elite shortstop, and best of all, with 3 years remaining on his rookie contract control. That is invaluable roster control for us. Yes, he has had ups and downs in his career, as is normal for a young athlete, but overall his performance has been excellent. The numbers don't lie. Abrams made the All-Star game in 2024, representing the Nationals in the Midsummer Classic celebration. Beyond the solid defense we expect, he silenced those who doubted his offensive power. Abrams' bat speed and strength are more than confirmed. Those who said he didn't have the power for MLB had to eat their words, with at least 18 home runs. In each of the last 3 years, he shows he can be the missing piece to explode in the middle of our lineup. Imagine the chop-on with this addition. An already devastating offense would gain even more depth and explosion. He is the kind of player who commands respect in the box, forcing opposing pitchers to make mistakes. Rosenthal's speculation also surgically cut off other possibilities. Forget about free agent Bo Bichette. The analyst himself threw cold water on that idea, and rightly so. Many teams no longer view Bichette as a starting shortstop due to his defensive metrics, which are among the league's worst. We don't need a defensive liability. We need solutions that help us dominate the NL East. Abrams is the guy who delivers excellence on both sides of the field, making him infinitely more attractive than Bichette. The challenge here is gigantic and involves a divisional politics that makes baseball so exciting. With the Washington Nationals, under new president of baseball, Operations Paul Taboni, have the courage or the naivete to trade a 25-year-old all-star with 3 years of contract control directly to the Atlanta Braves, handing a generational talent to their main rival, the team that has dominated the division for years, would be a historic blunder for the Nationals. But baseball has these moments. If the price is high enough, if the Braves front office is aggressive enough to offer the right prospect package, perhaps the Nationals will hesitate. The Mao opportunity is on the table, and we hope our front office doesn't let it slip away. Another alternative cited in the news, but which seems more complex, is shortstop Ezequiel Tovar of the Colorado Rockies. Would new Rockies boss Paul DePodesta let go of one of his few quality players, an affordable guy with a $54 million contract over the next 5 years, plus a $23 million option for 2031? Difficult, but in baseball, everything has a price, and if the Rockies are in total rebuild mode, perhaps a package of elite prospects is what they need. However, Abrams, coming from the NL East and already tested in the heat of our division, seems to be the ideal choice, the immediate impact and long-term bet that the Atlanta Braves deserve. What is undeniable is that the search for a starting shortstop is hot. This is not just a move to fill a gap. It is a declaration of intent. It is the Atlanta Braves telling all of MLB, we want the title, and we will pursue all-star players to win it. C.J. Abrams. At Truist Park, receiving the support of our passionate fans would be the icing on the cake for a franchise that always expects victory. The pressure is on the Nationals. The ball is with the Braves. It is time to chop on and bring Abrams home. The ground is shaking again, and the sound of the chop-on is deafening because the smoke from a divisional trade bomb has hit Atlanta by surprise. The shortstop position is one of the few remaining question marks on a roster built to dominate the National League East, and frankly, to win the World Series every year as we expect. And now, the name that emerges coming directly from the competition is that of 25-year-old all-star shortstop C.J. Abrams. This is not just any rumor, this is speculation raised by Ken Rosenthal of The Athletic. And when Rosenthal speaks, the baseball world stops. We are talking about a young talent from the Washington Nationals who is suddenly linked to the Atlanta Braves, a move that would be seismic for the entire NL East. And best of all is that Abrams, at 25 years old, has already proven to be an all-star caliber player, selected in 2024, proving he is an elite asset. The factual reality about Abrams is exciting for the Braves. He is not just an agile defender, which we value so much up the middle, but he has also proven to be an offensive force that would fit perfectly into our lineup. With at least 18 home runs in each of the last 3 seasons, Abrams has numbers that debunk any initial skepticism about his ability to hit for power. He turns 25 in October 2025, which means he is just starting to enter the prime of his MLB career. And the crucial point we love, he would come with at least 3 more years of contractual control, making him a long-term solution for the lineup that always expects victory. This is the kind of strategic acquisition that keeps us on top, weakening the competition and strengthening our own core of champions. But the elephant in the room, or rather the Nationals in the division, is the major obstacle. Rosenthal himself questioned the logic behind Washington letting go of a player of Abrams's quality. Who in their right mind would give up a young, contract-controlled all-star to a division rival that is already dominating the NL East? We know that trading with a direct opponent is a maneuver that demands an exorbitant price. The new president of baseball operations for the Washington Nationals, Paul Toboni, would need an offer so colossal it could cost him his job if he didn't take it. A move like this would not only give the Braves an elite starting shortstop, but would also sink the Nationals' restructuring chances for years to come. The Braves would not just win the trade, but gain a moral blow over a rival we should expect to beat every game. The urgency of this news is reinforced when we look at the alternatives mentioned. The idea of bringing in free agent Bo Bichette, for example, is quickly dismissed by Rosenthal's analysis. The reason is clear. Modern baseball demands defensive excellence at shortstop, and Bichette has defensive metrics among the worst in the league. For a team that plays in the postseason and relies on solid defense, a player with those metrics is not a viable option. The Braves are looking for a complete champion. Abrams, with his five-tool profile, fits much better into the philosophy of a title-aiming team. The mention of Ezequiel Tovar of the Colorado Rockies, who also has a very affordable $54 million contract for 5 years, plus an option for 2031, shows that the market has options. However, Tovar does not have the same National League All-Star pedigree that Abrams has already achieved. The chance to steal a 25-year-old All-Star from a direct rival, who has already proven he can hit with the power the chop-on demands, is much more seductive and urgent for our baseball management. Abrams would be more than just a shortstop. He would be the piece that cements our lineup for the next half-decade, combining him with the established core of young talents. He is the type of player we expect the Braves front office to pursue. Young, with not entirely exploited potential, and with contractual control that is pure gold in the market. The Braves' president of baseball operations, whoever is responsible for this decision, needs to act with the aggression we expect. If there is a chance, even remote, to steal a 25-year-old all-star from an NL East rival, with at least 18 home runs in the last 3 years and years of control, the table needs to be overturned. It is time to make an offer they cannot refuse. Victory is the only option, and C.J. Abrams is the name that can guarantee us that at shortstop long-term. The Atlanta team has an obligation to pursue this continuous domination, and an audacious move like this is the mark of a champion who always expects glory. Let the management work its magic and bring this all-star to the East. The chop-on demands excellence. That's it, fans. The reality is tough, but the chase for the World Series continues. We saw that the absence of Acuna Jr. and Strider at the start of the 2025 MLB season is a knockout that even the strength of our lineup didn't seem to deserve, but this franchise has a history of NL East dominance, with 14 straight division titles, a record that speaks louder than any injury. Now it is time for the hardcore of the roster to honor this jersey and show why our offense is known for the devastating chop-on. The strength of our pitching staff needs to show up, and the depth of the roster will be tested to the extreme. There is no room for hesitation, only for victory. Thank you, Chop-On Nation. If you are also in victory always mode and believe the Braves overcome any obstacle, now is the time to show your strength. Subscribe to the channel right now, activate the bell so you don't miss any hot analysis, and leave in the comments who needs to shine to cover the absence of Acuna and Strider. We want to know your champion lineup. Let's go together on this road to the World Series.